I didn't watch any Kenobi, man. I've been a little bit busy, so I haven't watched the new episode yet. The TV right now is popping off, dude. Kenobi, Stranger Things, The Boys. I mean, you name it, man. Everything's coming out right now. Like we're
Are you guys
finally about to
finished
get
with
some fall
Ozark?
TV.
Oh,
Have
I'm
you
not.
gotten through
I was
Ozark?
I'm not
I
done
was
yet, but I do watch it
I was done with Ozark like 2 hours after it came out.
though.
No, actually, Ozark's going to be pretty good. In the last season, there's a couple episodes left, and then we're going to Stranger Things because we watched all those. And I might go to Kenobi, but I don't get any alone time to like watch things, so I can't watch Kenobi because no one else wants to watch that in my house.
Oh man, I'm surprised you get to watch Ozark. It was hard for me to
No,
watch.
me and my girl. Yeah.
That's one you gotta like listen to. You gotta get the dialogue, you know. But
I think I,
hold
I
on,
think I
I'm
like
supposed
chocolate.
to find. Ooh, where's our intro? Why? Oh wait, here it is. What's going on, people? It's IUWEtalk Live. We're here with you on a Friday. That's right. Hey, game one of the NBA Finals was last night, and we're here to break it down, tell you our thoughts about it. The game didn't play out at all like how I thought it would. I still thought Boston would win, and anybody who thinks that seems to be in the minority. As far as I can see, and the end result was about what. It's hard to say you expected that, but I mean, I don't really see how Golden State can compete in the series with a team that's just longer and stronger. Experience or not, experience is going to play a part, but what the hell? Let me hold on. I'll get to you, Joe. I know you ready to roll. Hefe, what you think about that game last night? Anything stick out to you?
Well, what stuck out to me was what we were talking about the other night, and what I said was, and it played out perfectly, but the final didn't come out perfectly. I said if they shut Tatum down, if they find a way to shut Tatum down, it's going to be a short series, and Golden State will win in 4 and 5, right?
Yeah.
Check the tape. And guess what they did? They shut Tatum down, and they still won handily. Even though I was about to turn that game off. There's 8 minutes left, and Golden State was up 10. And the first quarter was amazing because Steph Curry was just out of this world, and no one should be able to shoot like that. And then I seriously, and then I tuned out a little bit, and I came back in and got back in. It was fourth quarter, and it looked like Golden State was running away. And I'm like, well, we're doing a show, so I got to watch the rest of the game, right? And then I watched Boston just dominate for the entire rest of the game. And so like I said, if you shut Tatum down, Golden State wins in a short number of games, but apparently that's not the case because they shut Tatum down and Boston won handily. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think that I can. I don't know. I think Boston proved
hammering away. They kept hammering away the whole time. No matter how big they went down, they just kept.
Well, and then they made a bunch of just shot after shot after shot down the stretch, man.
Right. I mean, for the whole game, really. But Joski Doski, what'd you think about that? The first Warriors loss of the postseason. What you think?
That's not the first loss for them. I think it's the first
loss for the
home.
Warriors at home for the postseason.
Yeah, home.
That's what they said after the game. I saw it and I wrote it, but I think that's pretty crazy. Here, I'm gonna look it up right now.
No, I thought you said the first loss for the Warriors, not at home. Yeah, it was their first loss at home. The Boston Celtics just christened San Francisco up a little bit and showed them how we roll over on the East Coast. So really, man. Look, all right. So I'm going to be honest with you. You're right. The script itself didn't play out the way I even thought it was going to play out. It looked like we were a little bit in trouble when Steph dropped 21 points in the first quarter.
Yeah.
But you know where I regained my confidence back was a lot sooner than I thought I was going to.
Score?
Exactly. 0 points in the second quarter. That's when I realized my guys had woken up, and I was just like, hey, you know what? We got a series here. There's nothing for me to fear. Look, they held him to 13 total points in the last 3 quarters. That's what no one's listening about. I think that the 0 points in the second quarter is really being heavily coasted to, but he only had 4 points in the fourth quarter. So they really took care of him at the end of the half and at the end of the game. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that against Steph Curry every night. Probably not. Chances are not. Hopefully you can. But nonetheless, man, like, this team can play defense across the court. Every single guy. The one thing that really, really, really affects Golden State is that we're not worried about your switches. We're going to let whoever you switch to you guard you. And they're going to do a damn good job of it. As far as Tatum is concerned, for one, winning a game when he only scores 12 points is honestly phenomenal. It's amazing. But exactly, you know, I won't go as far as to say that he got shut down, because those 12 assists were good for at least, I mean, if you do the math, at least like 24 points. But a lot of those were 3-pointers. So he put up 30 points pretty much by just getting the ball in the right place. That's the growth that we've seen from this kid over the past couple of seasons, because beforehand he was the type of guy who just wanted to shoot everybody out of the game. And unfortunately, the only person that he would shoot out of the game, or only people he would shoot out of the game, would be the Boston Celtics. And he made sure he didn't do that last night, because the Warriors made sure to put focus on him. Now, what are they going to do? Because he's going to go out and he can facilitate. Now they have to worry about the other shooters. And they also have to worry about my X factor, Derek White. White played amazing. Again, the confidence is there. We're going to give these guys struggle. Look, I'm still going to say this is going 6 or 7. Unless they go on Sunday and somehow mop them. And I'm not even talking, like, if they go and they win decent, like by a decent margin, like 4 or 5 points or something, I'll even give Golden State a chance to go and take one or something in Boston, and maybe take another one a little bit later. But, you know, if they go into Golden State again on Sunday and they mop them, I'll probably go ahead and change from 6 or 7 and say Boston and 5.
Right.
Oh, if they even beat them, it doesn't even matter if they mop them. If they beat them,
I'm willing to say that now. I just don't see how, if Steph's not just smashing, killing. I mean, look, this was a chess match the whole time. So, for example, one of the things that I saw last night that really stuck out to me was that Robert Williams got beat on a switch where Steph Curry was bringing the ball up, and he was just balling on him. He was taking advantage of what Robin Williams wasn't doing, and then Al Horford stepped up and took that role. And Al Horford helped shut it down in the second quarter, especially because he was closer to the arc to defend Curry. You know, Williams was giving him a lot of space. But then once Williams saw that, he himself. And so then they were both in there rotating and switching off the defenses perfectly on Steph for the rest of the night. I was like, wow. Okay, but the reason I want to say the Celtics are taking in 5 is because of the adjustments I saw, but Golden State will make adjustments. They see they're in trouble. They were up big so many times. You know what I mean? Boston just kept
but whatever Boston did on defense at the end of that game last night, man, just honestly, I mean, you guys were probably just as surprised as I was. We're like watching Boston hit all these shots, and then we're watching Golden State just fall apart. We're talking about like melting down on the 18th hole, right? Because these guys missed the shots. They were turning the ball over. They were missing passes. They were doing – so whatever Boston did on defense, the adjustments like you were talking about, it worked for them. And if Golden State's going to have any kind of chance in the series, like you said, they're going to make them, but they better make the right ones.
Yeah.
That's what Boston's been doing all postseason, though. And if you go back and you really look at it, you know what? They're a lot more battle tested right now, truthfully.
Yeah.
Like the road that Golden State took compared to the road that Boston took, they've seen this. You know what? And one of the funny things that a lot of people may not know, the Miami Heat actually finished with just a slightly better 3-point percentage than the Golden State Warriors did.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, we've gotten everything thrown at us that could potentially be thrown at us.
But yeah, you guys.
There is one Steph, but that same Steph Curry we've guarded to almost perfection ever since he's been in the league. You know, this team knows how to go at him, and they've shown that countless times. Like I said, he's gonna pop off for his, it's kind of like one of those things like with LeBron. You're never gonna shut LeBron down, but if you
Exactly.
bother him and get him out of his rhythm, you can win a game.
Can
So
you contain
That's
the
MJ and LeBron. Yep. All of them, all the greats, man. Take them out of their rhythm, shutting them down. Okay, if MJ scored 32, but nobody else stepped up that game, that sounds great. And LeBron, same way. You take these guys out and shut down some aspect of their game, but the good guys bring out the other aspects of their game, which Tatum did last night.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Tatum on average for last year and this year, 20.6 shot attempts a game. Last night he only took 13. Now that's maturity, no matter how you cut it. He may end up being a superstar in his own right, in his own way, because that's the sign of somebody who just understands that they want to win the game and they're going to do what they need to do that. Now, Kobe, for instance, if Kobe, no matter how many shots he's going to miss, he's going to jack up at least 26 shots a game or so, no matter what. Tatum knew he needed to figure out what he needed to do to score. But until then, he's going to play a different role, and he's good at it. 12, 13, I think he had 13 assists last night. That's nuts. That's great vision.
And he was having the off shooting night. So for him to decide early in that game rather than to shoot himself out of it, that was the biggest part of it.
My bad.
Well, yeah, because Golden State was out to shut him down. So yes, that shows a big maturity in his game. They're trying to shut me down, so I'm going to draw all the attention, but I'm going to get all you guys involved. And
yeah,
look,
I was impressed with him last night.
Joe, do you think Marcus Smart shot too many threes? I'm going to try and find his box score, but what's going on there?
No, I don't, because I've said this to you countless times. He's probably one of the most improved shooters in the NBA. There used to be a time where I would cringe over it, and I actually even know when it happened. This is how much I still, and I even fell out of basketball for a little bit, but this is how much I still pay attention to my team. It was in the bubble. When they were in the bubble that particular year, coincidentally, they actually lost to the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals that year, but his shot, it transformed. He makes them now. And you know what? That's the way the team plays. And that's how they have to play in order to beat somebody like Golden State. You have to make everyone a threat as a shooter. And he can get hot just as much as Al Horford can get hot, just as much as Derek White can get hot, just as much as Jaylen Brown can get hot. Like everyone on the team. Grant Williams had a game in the Bucks series where I think he hit 6 or 7 threes. All these guys are they're comfortable shooting the basketball. So what does it look like if you put Marcus Smart on the floor and then you don't? Like you have to allow him to play the same game that everyone else is playing. So
well, that's
right.
That's their system, right?
With it.
Yeah, that's their system, right? Look, if you're going to make your offense and revolve around open shooters, then anytime you're open, you have to take that shot. And like you said, Joe, it's been kind of fun watching Marcus Smart because he couldn't hit anything a couple of years ago. But you know what? That's part of the offense. And when you put these guys in positions to be open for three-pointers, you want them to take the three-pointers. It's just like hitters in baseball. You're not always going to be on, but you got to keep shooting. And so as far as your question was about Marcus Smart taking too many, I don't think so. Look, they're setting these guys up in spots. And if you're in the spot and you get the ball, you take the shot.
It just felt in the first quarter, especially, it felt that he was trying, or the Celtics in general were just trying to match the 3-point energy of the Warriors. And I thought that's where I thought they would make their mistake, but they didn't. And actually, as I'm looking at the numbers, I think Smart had 4 3-point attempts in the first quarter, ended the game with 7. So it wasn't too much. It just started out weird to me. I was like, man, this guy is trying to do Steph Curry impression.
They were trying to set him. They were trying to get him in a rhythm, right? Go ahead. We're going to get you the ball in the open spot. Shoot it. And if he'd have hit all 4 of those, he probably would have 7 more.
He hit 2.
Well, I think I was going to say he hit. Well, I thought he probably hit 3, but yeah. Oh, you know what? 1 was on the line. His foot was on the line. Ended up being a 2.
You're right.
But yeah, I mean, he can shoot, and that's one of those things where if you're gonna leave me open, then I'm gonna take it. And I think that's what Golden State was doing is they were playing off of him. But when he starts hitting it, it changes the offense. It's early enough in the game for them to adjust. Like I said, having these tougher series, they've fallen behind. They've done it, and I think that's probably what really got Golden State. They're out here, living up their celebrity lifestyle. They're up by 12 points. They were up by 12 points at the end of that third quarter. That was it. And they were so confident that they were going to just come out and just blow us out of the water. And Boston, like I said, battle tested. 2 game sevens, one at home, one on the road. They win both of them. They're not going to rattle easily. They're not.
Right.
And I think that just I think that just changed the series because Golden State really thought they had it in the bag. And I mean, I have to give credit to Jaylen Brown because really he kept the pace. Like, he really took over in that fourth quarter.
Some
So
big shots.
yeah, huge shots. So I mean, it's still going to be a tough series. I'm not counting Golden State out just yet, but I think that we've probably proven to a lot of people that watched that game last night, damn, we made a mistake by not even considering that they could actually win this series.
Yeah.
And that's regardless of what the results end up at the end. So
I was seeing a lot of that. A lot of people took Warriors in 5, Warriors in 6, and I was just like, I don't understand. Have you not been watching the Celtics? What's going on here?
Yeah, but what if it would have played out the way that it looked like it was going to play out? The whole scenario would be different in what you're saying because, like I said, if they take Tatum out, they could win in four or 5. And
right.
if what if they'd have continued and what if they won by 20 last night and they didn't melt down in the fourth quarter? Now the whole scenario and conversation would be a little bit different, but it didn't, and that's why the conversation is where it's at now. Because I'm looking
I think that depends on who you are, though, because that conversation wouldn't have been the same for me. Because once again, like I said, I've watched all these games; they've gotten blown out by 20. Tatum has had a bad game, and he's not going to have 2 bad games in a row. He's truly not. I can promise you that. Honestly, that I wish I had him up right now. I'm at this wedding. I can't pull up the stats as easily as I can, but the games after a slow game for him are monstrous, and he's getting the switches they want. This is going to be circa 2016 again for the Warriors because they are going to force Steph Curry onto Jason Tatum, and that's a mismatch all day long.
All day.
And
so okay. What's Tatum's next line?
I will say.
What's the line he puts up in the next game?
Oh.
What do you think?
Who are you asking me? I'll take it.
Either one of you guys, both of you guys, actually. Right. What do you? Okay, because it just piqued my interest because you said Joe. Usually after a down game, he has a really big up game. So, considering going up 2-0 in the way the series started, what do you see Tatum's line being and the outcome of game 2?
All right, so I'm going to go with Tatum's going to figure a little bit out, but he'll really get rolling at home. So I'll give him 22 points. And he just got 13, so he'll facilitate still. I think he's averaging 4 or 5 this year. I'm going to give him 5 assists, 22, 5, and 7 rebounds. Here, I'm writing it down.
Do they win?
5 and 7. Do
they win?
Oh boy. Yeah, I'll say yeah. I think they will again. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. All right. What do you think, Joe?
So look, for one, I can tell you before I even give my stat line, I'm not calling the game, so don't ask me that question.
That's smart.
Smart. But essentially, like I said, he is going to blow up. Maybe I shouldn't say blow up because a lot of people consider that like a huge 30 or 40 point game or something like that. I think he'll sniff if not touch 30. So let's to be safe, I'll say 28. I do like, and honestly, the other stat line actually I kind of agree with Drew. Give him about 7 or 8 rebounds and probably about a good 5 assists because he will be shooting a little bit more. One thing that's going to really, really help too is Al Horford's game. The way that Al Horford played, now Looney is going to probably have to play a little bit closer to Al Horford. So he's not going to be able to switch on the Tatum because that if you ask me, I think that's probably the matchup that really gave him the most fits and threw him off a little bit, and that's actually what they started that game off with. But yeah, I'd probably say about 28, 8 and 5.
28, 8.
All right, it's relatively similar. So between you two, we're looking at 25, 6, 7, 7, 8, pretty much. Between you guys' numbers. I'm not going to prognosticate on them. I haven't watched enough. You know what I mean? So like,
take a stab at it. Take a stab.
All right. Well, I mean, okay. I look at horse racing stuff all day, so you got to take stabs and stuff. So
yeah,
you know what? I'm going to go a little bit higher. Like I'm going to listen to what Joe said, and I don't know the numbers. It's not in front of me. You guys know I don't have a computer that I'm looking at. But if Tatum has a history of rebounding after not scoring well, then I mean, I think in order for Boston to win, Tatum might have to put up 40. I mean, the dude can score 40. He's a shooter. And so if I'm going to actually give a number, I think here's two numbers. If Boston wins, Tatum's going to score 40. If Tatum scores less than 30, Golden State wins. And I'll agree with you guys on the other stat lines. You know what I mean? It looks like he could 5-5 game. That's a great game, right? Right? 42 points, 5-5. That's a great game.
I got it all written down. Hell yeah, let's do it. That's perfect. I like the route you went there because that's just as bold as putting out specific stats. That's for sure. All right, hey, yo, final thoughts, anything you want to say to the people or last thing about the game, anything like that? Let's start with you, Doski.
So I'm going to make a game comment and a final statement here real quick. So real quick, and I did actually jot this one down earlier. 2015. 2015 when the Warriors won. Kyrie and Kevin Love were out.
Yeah.
2016, that was the famous blown 3-1 lead. 17 and 18, Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
2019, they let Kawhi Leonard blow them out of the water.
Uh-huh.
These guys might be a little bit more overrated than people think. Now they're older too. When you're out here relying on whatever you can get out of Andre Iguodala, to me it shows a sign of some type of desperation. I think
big hands. I kept talking about his big hands last night.
Yeah. So
and then you let the ball go out of bounds 2 times in a row.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, these guys are going to show up hot. Like I said, I expect them to do what they're supposed to do at home. If we can pull off another win, that'd be great. But hey, we're going back to Boston, and we're not going to be down 2-0. And that's the biggest thing in the world. It's going to be rocking in TD Garden when we get back there. So
we're doing a live show there.
I would love to.
Are they going to give us a booth?
Live show
They got to give the real Joe Harris a booth, right?
Oh yeah. Oh,
they should give me. They should give me floor seats.
And a big
But yeah, no. Other than that, clearly I'm all dressed in press. Everybody can only see the top half of me, whatever it is, with this sweet ass hat on. Congratulations to my really, really close friend for a long time. Grew up together, went to high school together. Everything else, Chris Robinson and his newlywed wife, Diamond Robinson now, actually. And, also happy birthday to them, it's the birthday. They both have the same birthday, and that's why they chose today to get married. So happy birthday, happy newlyweds. I hope everything the best for them. I probably need to get back in there because I saw them walk back in a little bit ago. So, but when I tell Chris, I'm like, yo, man, I had to talk about the Celtics. He'll understand.
Give him a booth. Yes.
People say, give him a booth.
Yes.
Oh, my dude need a booth and a check. Don't forget the check. You know what I mean? Hey, real quick, I just got to say, Vince Staples was on a major commercial last night for Acura Integra. Let's go. Vince Staples. You guys may not know who he is. New school rapper making moves. He's a beast. He's one of the best newer ones. I don't know. Yeah, Celtics are gonna ball out, dude. Oh, yeah. And last, Jeff, did you have anything? Because I got one more thing. I'm going to save it for the end.
Yeah, you got it. You know what? I think the series is going to be interesting. And like Joe said, they could win these tight games and then they get blown out by 20. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen. You know what I mean? Just because if Steph comes out and scores 50 and Clay, it just, you know how it all plays out in the NBA. But I see the series, regardless of who blows up in the next few games, going 6 or 7 for sure. And I'm not, you know, we're all kind of the same way. Joe, you like Boston, so we all kind of don't like Boston. And
I don't like anybody.
You know,
I don't like anyone. And I know who I hate. I know who I hate. That's
but
I
like Boston in 6 or 7 now just because of what I saw last night, and then who knows what's going to happen the next day. But the Belmont Stakes are coming up Saturday. We'll talk a little bit about that next time. And seriously, I called Thistledown and I emailed them and asked them if they could give us a little booth to do a live broadcast from the Ohio Derby, and I'm waiting on a response. Yes. So, hey, let's do it at the Races live show, maybe.
All right, I'm trying to hear what you guys say, Drew. But let's see what it is, because I just got the nod. I need to bring my
gotta go. Got the knock.
No doubt,
yeah,
no doubt.
They realized I was missing.
No doubt. Hey, let me play the outro. And before I play this outro, I want everybody out there listening, watching, to know that we just made this bet for $100 on who gets the closest stats. Okay.